John Mark, come here. John Mark, get in the shot. The thrill of the Dill. So we just completed our recent commercial for Original Joe's. It's called The Thrill of the Dill, and thought it would be really cool to show you guys behind the scenes of everything that went into this production.
So this was an interesting project for me because I'm primarily a photographer, not a videographer. And it's been a major learning process for me to see A, which skills of mine do transfer over from photography to video, and B, what some of the challenges are that you don't encounter with photography that you're dealing with video all the time.
And I think one of the challenges with something like this Original Joe's commercial is it's 30 seconds.
Trying to fit our concepts into a 30-second ad that contained a lot of story without making it feel rushed was a big challenge. It was probably the thing that I found hardest about the whole process.
So we had two elements in the video. There's all the internal Original Joe's restaurant shots, and then there's the multi-location, multi-person shoots that happened all around Western British Columbia.
Running across a really tall train trestle.
I'm Dan, and we're up on top of a mountain.
We're at Little Qualicum Falls.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
So one of the unique things about this video is that for several of the shots we decided we wanted a very sort of, pardon the word, epic experience or cinematic look, a big perspective on things.
We thought, yeah, we'll just get a GoPro and mount it to one of those cool little copters, and that'll be great. The quality is going to be awesome. But after looking at videos online of results people have got with that, there's a lot of, rolling shutter, jello-vision, a lot of stuff that we just...
A lot left to be desired. So the person that we used for doing the aerial cinematography is named Devin Card.
My name's Devin Card. I am flying the Cinestar Octocopter.
Some of the things that Devin did with this $12,000 machine, flying over large waterfalls with crazy running water for the kayaking shots, being several hundred feet above the ground for the trestle sequence. And also flying in the midst of thick trees when we were up in the mountain and making sure that he didn't run into any branches.
So the 7D was a big hero in this project. Everybody is well aware at this point of how small form factor they are while still giving you great quality. So strapping a 7D up to the Cinestar Octocopter gave us great quality shots without having to hang a red scarlet 300 feet in the air and worry about it crashing.
We were using a lot of constant light sources, whether they were RE high intensity lights or banks of compact fluorescence and soft boxes. We used a thing called a scrim gym when we were shooting in the restaurant that basically just allowed us to get super soft light across a really large set of people, since we didn't have to just light one person, but instead I think 4 or 5 at a time.
Locations for this video were super key. We knew that we wanted to touch on the same locations that Original Joe's has a lot of their restaurants. So West Coast, BC was a great place for us to be shooting this.
Dealing with some real kayakers here, so they actually suggested we shoot here, and we're looking at one of the smaller ones right now. Freaked out of our minds, only trying to imagine what the bigger ones look like. So
yeah, we thought about doing things like green screening or blue screening, and it wasn't really an option for us, and we didn't want it to come across fake. We actually wanted to do the work and go to these locations with stunt doubles or with our actors.
And that was one of the things that was a bit of a learning point for me, is that we would travel for 4 to 6 hours in one direction to get essentially 3 seconds of footage.
Post-production for the project, there was a lot of little things that went into making this commercial great instead of good in my mind.
Well, my favorite is the when you see Graham running on the trestle on the bridge, you hear an eagle's call in the background. That little thing for me totally makes that shot. You sort of have this eagle's perspective looking down on Graham, sort of striking terror into him.
Yeah, it just shows how the littlest things can make it step up from good to great. The biggest thing I'm proud about with this video is that we created this cinematic, huge production appearing video that doesn't necessarily have to cost $500,000.
Technology has really been the big enabler here. Working with the Octocopter and working with modern DSLRs that give great image quality with a pretty small package and a relatively low price point compared to a lot of other video cameras really gave us the opportunity to get the shots that we envisioned.
This dill dip is so good. Hey, do you guys make this dip in-house?
Original Joe's, the thrill of the Dill.